This Highlander is $44,000. This RAV4 is $44,000. Both of these 4Runners are $44,000. $44,000 must be their sweet spot. Seeing that a lot. So all these prices that I just gave you, they're on used vehicles, not new. These are used cars. All right, so how much interest do you actually have in this vehicle? Very, very high interest. Great, so I'm gonna put you down for the very high interest rate. Wait, what? See, Toyota still has a massive problem. They cannot get enough vehicles to their dealers. And you know what? This is a massive, massive Toyota dealership. This is one lot over here. They've got another one over there. And they barely have any new inventory. Check it out, brand new RAV4s. So I actually found some new vehicles back here. We've got some RAV4s. We've got some more RAV4s over here, a Camry, a Tacoma. But a lot of them have pre-sold on them. So you're seeing this a lot at these Toyota dealerships that when they are getting any kind of vehicles, any kind of new inventory in, they're getting sold either immediately off the truck, or they've got a wait list, or they've already been ordered by these consumers that are just waiting for them. And Toyota cannot get these vehicles out quick enough to be able to capitalize on this demand. All right, there you go. Pre-sold, but this is a RAV4 and it's a new one. I've seen one, I've been able to put my hands on it, and they've actually got a few of them over here. Now this one, they actually sold, the MSRP is $44,000. Who knows if there's added fees or whatever on it. But you can just use that as a comparison. You can buy this brand new one if a dealer is selling at MSRP for $44,000. But then they have this lot over there that has the used RAV4s, and a lot of them are 40, 45 grand, somewhere around that range, but they're used. So new ones $44,000, used ones $45,000. So yeah, I would like a brand new RAV4. How about a used one for a higher price? I would rather have a new one for a cheaper price. I'm so sorry, we are out of the brand new ones for a cheaper price. What if we throw in some nitrogen for $499? Okay. And how can they do this? The reason why is because when a consumer comes into this dealership and they want a RAV4, they can't just leave with a brand new one because they don't have them. They're all pre-sold, there's a waiting list, whatever. You're gonna have to wait months to actually get a RAV4. So if that consumer comes in and wants one today, they're gonna have to buy that more expensive used one. It's used and it's more expensive, and they're going to have to go that route if they want it today. And you know what? Why can these dealerships continually do that, selling these used vehicles for the same price as new ones? It's because consumers are actually buying them at that price. Consumers do not want to wait, so they're going to foolishly spend more money on these used vehicles than they could get a brand new one. All right, I want to check some of these used SUVs, these used RAV4s while I'm here, because you know you can't get the new one, so let's see what a used one is. This is a 2021 Toyota RAV4 Limited, and it's $43,877. That's absolutely crazy. It's used, and it's $44,000. Can't get a new one, so you'll have to pay exactly what it costs for a new one for a used one. So it's no secret now, right? So we know that Toyota in the US has actually suppressed inventory to keep their margins higher. But I think Toyota really messed up in doing this. See, in the market, you have a saying that there's a sale delayed or a sale denied. And what Toyota was really hoping for with doing this is that as they slowly put out production to these dealers, is that a lot of these consumers would actually be a sale delayed, meaning they would just wait for it. And they are going to be diehard Toyota consumers. And you know what? They're just going to get on the waiting list for these RAV4s, wait 4 to 6 months, and then they're going to buy one. That's what Toyota was hoping while they're doing this, and they can still get that consumer and still make a ton of money off of them, right? But that's not what's happening. So I'm interested in this right here because about 2 weeks ago, I put it on a video, I actually found a brand new Toyota Prius on a dealer lot. It had been a customer order and then it got canceled, so they threw it out on their lot, and they were selling it for like $30,000. That one's brand new. We've got one right here. This is a 2021 Toyota Prius, and they're selling it for $29,877. And this is a used one. It's a used one, and it costs the same amount as a new one. So you are still going to have some of these consumers that are just Toyota diehards. They're going to wait for it, right? But most consumers want a vehicle and they want it right now. And when you're talking about a vehicle, Oftentimes it's a product that a consumer can't really wait on. If their transmission goes out, if they get in a wreck and they don't have an extra vehicle, they got to buy one right now. They still got to get to work, they got to feed their kids, they got to pay their bills, and they need a vehicle to do that. So they need to buy one right now. All right, so they got some 4Runners over here. I want to check them. I actually like the front end on these where it says Toyota a little bit better. So let's check this one and see what it costs. This is a 2020 Toyota 4Runner SR5 Premium, and they're selling it for $43,787. That's a used one. It's a used one. $44,000. So because Toyota did not have these vehicles available for these consumers, so what would they do? They would go to these other brands that actually had inventory in stock that they could purchase and drive away with today. So in these instances, it's a customer denied. And when a company goes through a big time period where these purchases are actually denied and not delayed, then they leave a lot of money on the table. They actually can potentially lose customers for life, because if a consumer that wanted to buy one of these RAV4s, wanted to buy one of these Camrys, they actually go to a Honda, they go to a Nissan, and they find a vehicle that is a similar price that they actually like just as much, then they might continue to be a Nissan customer after that. They might continue to be a Honda customer after that switchover happens. And in that case, the next sale that Toyota was going to get from this consumer, no, they're not getting it now. I don't think I've ever actually seen one of these at a dealership before. This is a Venza. Now, my wife drives a Venza, but I think it's like a 2015 is what we have. This is a 2022 Toyota Venza XLE, and this is a hybrid. And they're selling it for $44,587. I like the look of it. It's just, it's used, and it's about 45 grand. And what I think really ended up happening, because Toyota was suppressing their inventory, is that they actually left a lot of money on the table. See, while they were actually limiting their production to keep their margins high, we went through this time period of just crazy spending. People were buying cars left and right. Interest rates were crazy low. People felt like they were getting free money from everywhere, so they were just spending it, and they were buying all these cars. And because they didn't have product for these cash drunk consumers to be able to purchase, those are consumers that they're not able to get again, because even if that consumer right now wants to buy a Toyota, it's a lot harder for them to get a loan. They have less money. They feel more poor right now because of inflation as where it's at right now. So you know what, they might not be buying that new vehicle anymore. They might have to go to a used vehicle because they just don't feel like they're in the same position they were 2 years ago to be able to buy one of these new vehicles. And I really want to check this. I love these things. They look sick. These new Sequoias. I've only seen one brand new one of all of these Toyota dealerships I've checked out. This is a Platinum. All right, and this one appears to be pre-sold also. But anyway, the MSRP on this is $77,461. So now here's another problem. Toyota is not going to stay in this area where they can't be able to get cars out to consumers. They wouldn't be able to thrive as a business if their production is this low forever, right? They can keep their margins high, whatever, but they still need to pump out volume. So now, as their production rates are starting to increase, as they're starting to get more vehicles to these dealers, the economy is going down. Interest rates are going up, and it's becoming much, much, much harder for consumers to get loans for cars. It is much harder for consumers just to buy cars in general because they have less money. Savings rates are going down. It's tougher for anyone in this environment right now to be able to purchase a car. People feel poorer right now because inflation is where it's at. And you know what? They're worried about the outlook of their economic situation. And in those cases, people aren't going to go and buy a new car. So as Toyota is getting more cars to these dealers, these customers might start drying up because they just don't want to buy a new vehicle. They're going to go to something that's cheaper, that's more affordable for them, because they just don't feel good about the outlook of our economy. So I haven't really seen any of these at all. This is the cool little crossover. It's called a Corolla Cross. Yeah, so this is cool. It's the MSRP on it's $30,000 already sold, but you just don't see a whole lot of them. And I know that Toyota's losing a lot of consumers because I can see it in my comments. When I do videos like this, looking at Toyota inventory, and people complain about it all the time. They're like, you know what? I wanted to go get a 4Runner. I wanted to go get a RAV4, but they just didn't have them, and I was going to have to wait 4 to 6 months. So you know what? I just went and bought something else. So Toyota's going to have to fix these production problems. But by the time they actually get this solved out, it might be too late because the economy might be in a much worse position than we are right now. People might be out of money, and credit might be too tough to get. So Toyota is playing a dangerous game, limiting this production right now. So guess what? Dealerships will continue to charge new prices for used vehicles. They will continue to charge for nitrogen in your tires. They will continue to add market adjustments. They will continue to just gouge consumers as long as consumers continue to pay it. And I can already see it in the comments. Well, dude didn't even say the mileage on it. Doesn't matter if the miles are 0. If they're not new model cars, then they're still too much. So just pretend that all the miles are 0. They're not. They're like 30, 40,000 miles on a lot of these cars. They're too expensive. They're the same price as the new versions of themselves. So they're too expensive. Comments. Doesn't matter how many miles there are. And truth be told, I forgot to get the miles when I was looking at these cars, and it's hot, and I'm not going back to redo the footage. So sorry, I'm not sorry. It seems like every time I record one of these videos, I'm right in the way of air traffic. There's always airplanes going over me, and I have to stop for like 5 minutes in the middle of any kind of recording that I'm doing. You hear, I hope you can hear that. That's the loudest airplane that I've ever heard in my life. There's clouds, so I can't really see it. It's got to be right above my head. A supply train. All right, they got some used 4Runners over here. Why am I asking it like it's a question? Yeah, it's a 4Runner. It's right over there. That sounds stupid. All right.